We continue to give them. And disinterested in working out the answer. They switch off. They don't look for a way out. The second group is, wow, this is difficult. We don't know this yet. When we get home, we have to ask mom to buy this kind of puzzle for us. So we must ask the teacher the name of the puzzle and where to get them. The second group, okay, they don't give up. Instead, they continue to find a way out. The first group, they give up. What's the difference? The difference is in the mindset. The first group has a fixed mindset. The second one has a growth mindset. To formulate that statement in simple terms, the first group say, we don't know this. The second group says, we don't know this yet. Only that much. Y-E-T. That's the only difference there is. But in terms of mindset, there's a whole lot of difference that I would like to bring to our student body here. When you receive feedback, okay, for your summary, for your essay, for your ISP, which is Independent Study Project, and for your dissertation, when you read the feedback, sometimes that can demoralize you. If that's the case, do some reflection. Put down your book, maybe look away from your computer and look into your mind. Ask a question, am I in the fixed mindset now? Fixed mindset means, okay, when I write a thesis or today when you're going to present a paper, my paper is the best. No need to change. With regard to this topic, I know better. Okay, nothing to add. If you come with that mindset, that's called fixed mindset. With that fixed mindset, you're going to be upset with every feedback you receive. All you expect is praise and positive comments from other people. But conference is not about that. When I was a student at Oxford University, for 3.5 years, I had the opportunity to present paper internationally 5 times. Sometimes the same paper I presented at 2 or 3 conferences. We were encouraged to do that. University has a certain funding to support students to present papers at international conferences. Sometimes, even if you don't present paper, you are there just to participate and be part of the conference. The university still gives you etiquette. That's the policy. And all the conference organizing committees in the West, they had certain provision for students. So when I was student, some student organizers, conference organizer, they got contacted with me. They are always looking at interesting topics. If you're working on something which is of great interest to the scholastic community, they will reach out to you and they will invite you. All I needed at Oxford was a recommendation email from my supervisor, either to the college or to the department, that this student is working on this topic and he or she will benefit from attending this conference. Although we haven't had our student conference here, our students for the last 3 years have been participating at Mahamongkut Buddhist University conference. We count for most of the English papers at that conference. So during my student time, I tried to present a paper at Oxford University. First, it was not accepted. And you have to prepare for a rejection like that. The first conference paper he presented was in Thailand at Chulalongkorn University, organized by International Association of Buddhist Studies, based in Switzerland. The second one was a conference in New York in 2003. No, the second one was at London University. The third one was at Newcastle University, Sanskrit Conference. The fourth one was at New York, Association of Asian Studies. Then another one at Stanford University, also in America. The last one was at Oxford. My paper presented at Oxford University was published in America. So you have to aim for a publication like that. If you do that, I know the students presenting paper this time, mostly postgraduate diploma students and master students, maybe some BA students. What is important is to keep going. You keep going, and it's a lot easier to keep going if you have the right mindset, that is growth mindset. Growth mindset believes that everything changes whether we like it or not. And to make it to change for the better in terms of our ability, we put in some effort, we put in right attitude, and we try to put in enough effort. With that, we make progress. If you do well with conference paper like this, your PhD will be a lot easier. With this, I'd like to open this important conference of SSB students. And thank you for this occasion.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for your encouraging speech and invaluable, remarkable opening speech, Venerable Sir. As we approach to agenda number 3, this agenda is the last agenda and to transfer to the conference rooms. This is the end of our opening ceremony of the first student conference. For the English sessions, it will be here in the Dhamma Hall. For the Shan section, you will have to transfer to the 4th-story building at G1 on the ground floor. At 9 o'clock, all the session will be starting. Please be ready for the sessions to start very soon. Thank you.
ခန္ဓာစီစဉ်300သက်ဆိုင်ရာစာတမ်းဖတ်ပွဲအခန်းတို့ပြောင်းရွှေ့နေရယူမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဗျာတို့ဖြစ်ပါ၍အင်္ဂလိပ်ဘာသာအတွက်ဤတမယုံတွင်မှကျင်းပမှာဖြစ်ပြီးရှမ်းဘာသာအတွက်လေးထပ်စာတင်ဆောင်ဤပထမထပ်ជីဝမ်းအခန်းတွင်ပြောင်းရွှေ့နေရယူပေးပါရန်အတည်ပေးရပါတယ်ဗျာ
So our conference will start at 9 o'clock, and this is the transfer to the conference room. All the Shan section you will have to transfer to the G1 in the 4-story buildings on the first floor. Yes. วันดาคอนเฟรนซ์ภายใต้นั้นค่ะเนาะผู้เข้าห้องเขาก็เอาที่อยู่ไว้ที่ตึก4ชั้นทับ1ห้อง G1 นะคะเนาะเขาย้ำเขามองเขาค่ะตีเตปังหลุดเลยก่อนนะคะเลยอะไรหางแหนตัวนั้นเอาที่อยู่ไว้เสกรรมค่ะเอาค่ะอะไรปองเขาแทงกรรมค่ะเนาะวันดาคอนเฟรนซ์ภายใต้นั้นในผู้เข้าห้องเขาก็เอาไว้ที่อยู่ที่ตึก4ชั้นทับ1ห้อง G1 นะคะเนาะเขาย้ำเขามองเขาค่ะตีเตยาวคันแลอะไรหางแดนตัวนั้นเอาที่อยู่ไว้เสกรรมค่ะ
เนี่ยหนึ่งในทัพมันไม่พอแล้วเนี่ยนี่ในทัพมันในทัพ
มันไม่เป็นไรอีกหนึ่งก็เด็ก
หนึ่งใจหนึ่งอันเดียวเนาะหนึ่งทางซื้อวัดหรอก
นี่มีเสือสัตว์มีเสือสัตว์เนี่ย
หนึ่งซื้อตังเยอะเลย
So today we save so much time and we will start our conference early and we expect to start at 8:30. Please be ready.
Điไปนะเนี่ย
For your information, the restroom and toilets is behind our stage and you can go during our break times.
เพียงแต่ยินเสียงให้ขอหน่อย
เย็นอ่ะเย็นเยอะเย็นอ่ะ
ให้เพิ่นอยู่ย้ายอยู่เนาะแต่ยินเสียง
อ๋อมันเข้าในซุ้มไหมมันเข้าไว้นะ
อ๋อโอเคไปปะนี่เสือสัตว์
โอเค
ก่อนนะ
ไม่เนาะไม่
Good morning, dear all participants. May I now take a moment to kindly remind you that our morning session 1 of the first SSBU student conference will commence in approximately 15 minutes. At this time, please proceed to your seats in the Dharma hall, and for our online attendees, kindly be ready as well. Additionally, please ensure that all the electronic devices are switched to silent mode to maintain an undisturbed atmosphere in the conference hall. For our participants joining us virtually, kindly mute yourself while the speaker is presenting. We encourage active participations, and there will be a dedicated Q&A sessions following its presentations. We respectfully request that you reserve your inquiries for that designated periods and to ensure a smooth flow of the program. We appreciate your cooperation in helping us create a respectful, focused environment, and thank you. And we look forward to commencing shortly.
Linda, can you? Yeah, for a minute. Maybe we have a short announcement for the afternoon meeting. Can you give forum to Venerable and Ho Chuan?
Hello, Tangaro Mapia. Your champion in Nina Siwe season Tare Daily season ego to your shout out Mapia, Seroi computer. Euromia Sunu Yannigan Sunu wet to Gru go wet for Tabarepia. Gru the Kumazo in Apa Tekado Ponzonga Apa Sevashi Barepia. A Gru Sunibo de Council Beta Barepia. Eric the Council again, the poema, Janet. ဆွေးနွေးစရာရှိခဲ့ရင်လည်းဆွေးနွေးစရာရှိရင်လည်းဆွေးနွေးရတဲ့အကြောင်းဆရာတော်မိတ်ပါတယ်ဗျာအဲ့လိုအဖွဲ့အစည်းတစ်ခုမှာ10ပါးနဲ့ဆွေးနွေးချက်ကိုလည်းအဖွဲ့တိုင်းမှာဆွေးနွေးတဲ့မှတ်တမ်းလေးကိုလုပ်ဖို့လည်းဒီတော့ကြိုတင်လျှောက်ပါတယ်ဗျာအဲ့ဒီဆွေးနွေးချက်မှတ်တမ်းလေးကိုဒီလိုပြန်စုံတဲ့အခါကျရင်အဖွဲ့ရဲ့ကိုစားတစ်ပါးကရင်အဖွဲ့ဒီလိုစုပေါင်းဆွေးနွေးပွဲမှာတင်ပြရမှာပါဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဗျာဒါကြောင့်အဲ့ဒီအစီအစဉ်လို့ဒီလိုအဲ့ဒီအစီအစဉ်တိုင်းလုပ်မဲ့အကြောင်းကြိုတင်သိသေးပါတယ်ဗျာအခုဒီလိုများဒီအဖွဲ့ခွဲထားတဲ့စာရွက်များကိုဒီလိုဆရာတော်များကိုကတ်မဲ့အကြောင်းအသိပေးခြင်းဒီလိုကြားဖြတ်ဒီလိုရဲ့လျှောက်ထားချက်ကိုဒီမှာပဲညီကုန်းချုပ်ပါတယ်ဗျာ
Good morning to all Venerable Mahathera, including all the Sangha members, nuns, respected guests, honorable speakers, moderator, esteemed faculty members, and dear all students. We warmly welcome you to the first Shan State Buddhist University Student Conference Program, a significant gathering honor of the 60th birthday celebration of the most Venerable Oxford Sayadaw, Professor Dr. Dhammasāmi, the founder and rector of Shan State Buddhist University, Taunggyi, Shan State Republic of the Union of Myanmar. I am Venerable Vilinda. It is both an honor and privilege to serve as your master of ceremony for this morning session 1 of this esteemed event. We would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to the distinguished guests who have joined us today, both in person and virtually. This morning session 1 is scheduled from 8:30. We will feature one esteemed moderator, Salema Deja, and along with 3 distinguished speakers, The first speaker is Venerable Muni Jara from Meng Su Township, Southern Shan State. The second speaker is Venerable Arya from Lai Kha Township, Southern Shan State. And last but not least, Venerable Ratana Diba Nguyen Din Wu from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Before we commence, I would like to take a moment to highlight the distinguished biography, expertise, and a notable achievement of our esteemed moderator. Our moderator for today's morning session is Sayadaw Deja, originally from Taunggyi Township, Yangon, Myanmar, and comes from Sayadaw Vipassana Retreat. She has succeeded in BA English honor from Yangon University in 2015. She finished the exam in Theravada Abhidhamma in 2018. She also got a diploma in Buddha Dhamma from International Theravada Buddhist Missionary University in 2019. Currently, she is a final year MA student at Shan State Buddhist University. In her future, she wants to be a professional Buddhist scholar. With this dedication, she has already participated in 3 conferences. They are the 9th International Conference under the title of Revival of Buddhist Libraries, held in Shan State Buddhist University. The Conference of ITBMU Silver Jubilee event under the title of Buddhist Study in the 21st Century, Challenges and Opportunity, held in International Theravada Buddhist Missionary University. And lastly, the 21st National and the 5th International Symposium under the title of Buddhist Value, Soft Power in Enhancements of Outcome-Based Education, held in Mahamaguru Buddhist University. So without further ado, may I invite our moderator, Sayadaw Deja, to lead the rest for this morning's session. The floor is now yours. Sayadaw, please, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable Willinda, for giving me such an opportunity to lead this section. Good morning, all the Venerable Thera, our Rector Sayadaw, and all the distinguished guests and students. Now let me start with our first speaker, and let me start to introduce our speaker by reading his biography. Venerable Muni Jara, he was originally from Maishu, Southern Shan State Southern Shan State. He was born in 1989, and he became a novice when he was 10 years old and attained full ordain in 2011 at the Forest Monastery in Yangon. After ordaining as Samnira, he studied monastic education from 1999 until 1912. He had lived in different monasteries in Shan State, Yangon, and Mandalay. In 2015, he changed his education from monastic learning to university education abroad. He graduated with a Bachelor of Philosophy in Bengal and a master's degree in Buddhist Studies at University of Colombo in Sri Lanka. Now he is a second-year student of Applied Pathway in Shan State Buddhist University. Now let me confer our speaker, Venerable Muni Jara, to present his for today's speaking. And now, Venerable Muni Jara, the floor is yours.
Respected to all Venerable Mahasangha, and good morning. Respected to all Mahasangha, and good morning to all Dhamma brother and sister, and ladies and gentlemen, and all students. Today, this morning is wonderful morning. My presentation topic is the analytical study on the practical application of equanimity, ubeka, in addressing and managing everyday challenges from a Buddhist perspective. That's not a word. This presentation, I have 3 key points. The first is the definition of the Upekkha. The second is the daily program from a Buddhist perspective. And the thirdly is how to apply the equanimity in our day-to-day life. Firstly, the definition of Upekkha. And what is Upekkha? Upekkha is a balanced mind. What a balanced mind? A balance to what? A balanced mind to both like and dislike. And the secondly, Upekkha is a balance to the person that we call 5 aggregate. And the thirdly, the equanimity is the balanced mind to like and dislike situation. This is the definition of Upekkha. And what is the daily challenge from a Buddhist perspective? And every philosophers and every school of thought and religion, they have their own to define and describe of the daily problems, daily challenge. And how the Buddha teaching describe of daily problem. There are many things. However, in this paper, I present there are 8. Can you help me? This one cannot use. Yeah. Okay. This is, we call the definition of the Upekkha, and go back just now. And then this is a definition of Upekkha. And the thirdly, it is the daily problems according to the Buddhist perspective. Firstly, it is gain and loss. And the secondly, it is disrepute and fame. The third is blame and price. And the fourth is pressure and pain. This is we call Loga Dhamma. The reality that exists happen in this world. So this is a definition of daily problem according to the Buddhist perspective. And how to apply the Upekkha, equanimity. Then we see this snake trying to eat a frog. Upekkha is to love a frog and to hate the snake. Not like that. To love a snake and to hate frog. Not like that. Upekkha is then do we have to ignore this problem and run away? It is not. The application of equanimity in solving daily problem is not to ignore the daily challenge first. It's then like I quote it, Gossampi monk who are argue each other, Sukdanta and Vinaya group. And the Buddha tried to solve that problem. Finally, they did not listen to the Buddha, and the Buddha went to the forest. And finally, that the two group of monks understood that they could not stay peacefully without the Buddha. So they went back to the forest and required the Buddha to come back. This is what I have seen in the sutta. The Buddha applied equanimity. There are 4 kinds of law that support to equanimity. The first is the law of karma. To apply equanimity in our daily life, our daily problem is have to understand the laws of karma. The laws of karma is very simple. And if we do good, we got good. If we do bad, we will receive the bad results. It's very simple. But when we go to deep in the laws of karma, then we can see the Sakya. When the Buddha came to destroy and Sakya people. And the Buddha went to 3 times according to record in the Dhammasāmi. And the 4th time, the Buddha could not solve that problem. Then the Buddha only say, Sapi Sata Kammasaka. This is the way of accept the law of karma. So, and the second law is to apply the equanimity is the laws of impermanence, anisa. In the Dhammasāmi is quote that the mind is restless, unstandable, hard to guard, and hard to control. The wise man makes it straight like a fletcher strike his arrow. This is the way of positive thinking, of changing. However, a person or a mind is influenced by the negative thought, it can be when we try, it can be changed into pure, into cleanness. Because like Angulimala, or I see as a murderess. Finally, he also can change his mind from the negative to positive. However, situation is there worse. We have to accept this law of impermanence is will be changed. It's conditionally changed. This is the laws of, when we understand this, the laws of impermanence and nature, then it's easy to apply the equanimity to balance to the both and both happy and happy situation of our daily life. And the third law that sport contribute to the application of the equanimity in our day-to-day life is the laws of imperfection, dukkha. It is recorded in the Dhammasāmi, there is no fire like a passion. There is no flame like anger. There is no suffering like the fire aggregation. And there is no peace higher than Nibbana. Then there is no suffering like a fire aggregation. Then come to now, what is life? We got human life. According to early Buddha teaching, it is fire aggregation. And later Buddha development is nama and rupa. So it's simple. Life is dukkha. It's already there, imperfection. So to accept that one, to understand the law of imperfection, it can help to develop a balanced mind to like and dislike of the situation of every day of our life. And then according to the one of the research found that in day-to-day of at workplace, half of the workers are not happy in their work. The problem is what? The problem is they have the experience of the conflict in their life, work life, and it is not like each other. And the another one is gossip about them like this. They have this kinds of problem. When we have understood it, the law of imperfection, and everyone have their good and not good point. So we accepted the law of imperfection. So if we can practice upekkha in our day-to-day life. And the last law of contribute to the application of the equanimity in our day-to-day life is another, the law of selflessness. According to the Anathapindika Sutta of the Majjhima Nikaya, when the Venerable Sariputta went to the house of the Anathapindika, at the time Anathapindika was ill. So Venerable Sariputta addressed to Anathapindika said, I hope you are getting well, house sister. I hope you are comfortable. I hope your painful feelings are subsiding and not increasing. And that they are subsiding and not they are increasing is apparent. These kinds of words, it express that Venerable Sariputta forget about himself and have compassion, forget attention to the suffering of the Anathapindika. So at the time, the Sariputta do not have the self-centered thinking. So it's other-centered thinking. With this kinds of thought, kinds of consideration, it becomes selfless. With these ideas, this idea can support the application of the equanimity to balance our mind towards bad and good situations of every day of our life. In conclusion, life is imperfect. The imperfection and perfection always change. The changing is because selfless. There are nothing we can hold to. I, mine, and myself. It is processed by the cause and effect. That's indeed in day-to-day of our life is full of challenges and problems. So while meeting them, it is important to apply equanimity, upekkha, to balance our mind, which is to keep our mind balanced toward both lies and dislikes, happy and happy situation every day of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Venerable Umanisara, for a comprehensive presentation under the title of An Analytical Study on the Practical Applications of Equanimity Upekkha in Addressing and Managing Everyday Challenges from a Buddhist Perspective. You really ponder on a critical definition of upekkha and also give how to apply this upekkha among vicissitudes. And also you really give a wonderful applicator of upekkha bear the lot of karma and three characteristics. Now this is the time for Q&A, and we open ad for this session now. Yeah. Now we welcome question and answer. Yeah. By the way, according to the time constraint, this is my humble request to go short to the point to the speaker and all the questioners. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation, Venerable. So I would like to ask you, when we see a snake or trying to eat a frog, at the time, according to your presentation, we should not love on the frog and we shouldn't hate the snake. So such kinds of mind is upekkha, equanimity. So we should ignore it or not.
This is a very wonderful question. Thank you very much for having this question for me. At that every day of challenge, we have that kinds of dilemmas in our day-to-day life. It's difficult to choose to which part we. According to one of the meditation master, he said to not to stop, let them there be their karma. So when we come to the teachings of the Buddha, we have to try to solve as much as possible. When we solve the problem, we have to follow up the fight, how we call the Pensapara, that are confident. We have to solve that with the confidence and the real hard work and effort, try to solve that. And then we have to have the mindfulness, be carefully of all the situation when we not to harm anyone. And the fourth one is the concentration, calm mind. When we solve that problem, so we have to calm our mind without influenced by the prejudice for agati, like minka, sandagati, payagati, like that. And the first, the last one is intelligence, panya. With these 5 kinds of pala, carefully we solve that problem as much as we can, because we have also limit our ability. One person and another person we have different. So with this 5 power, we try to solve as much as we can. If out of our control, then we have to let them as a Kamma Sapesata Kammasaka. As I mentioned that the Buddha went to save his fellow man of the Sakya 3 times. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, here.
So according to Lee, when mosquito bite to you when you were seen by Obaka?
This is a so personal question. Thank you very much, Venerable. And for me, when I see that kinds of problem to apply the Ubeka, firstly, I only go to the law of imperfection, Adoka, because nobody is perfect in this world. So when I have someone who I do not like, it's okay, no problem. I let them be as he is, because he also not perfect, I was not perfect, like this. And then go to the side of what I like. Sometimes as a Buddhist, I may like more than I dislike. It's okay, it's normal. If I depends on the development of the Sila Samadhi Sikha of that person. So if I have a strong concentration and the development of the Vipassana knowledge, so I may see that I like, the thing that I like in another different way. So when I see that one is, I already concerned with the Lakkhana and the 3 kinds of the characteristics. Thank you, Venerable.
Yes, because may I ask one question? And then Ubeka is included in Brahma Vihara, 4 Brahma Vihara, yes. So there are so many mental quality in expounded by the Buddhas. Why and equanimity included in Brahma Vihara? I mean, other maybe Kandi or Viriya, or they also can include it in Brahma Vihara. Why they are not included in there? So what was your opinion?
Thank you very much for this question. And according to your question, is we have to move the Ubeka in the Brahma Vihara a little. Okay, the Ubeka is appear in many different Ubeka Brahmida and Ubeka in Posanga and Ubeka in Chatuttajana. And Ubeka have in, according to the Visuddhimagga, it's 10 different of the Ubeka appear there. Then your question is focused on the Brahma Vihara in there. Why Ubeka is there? Is Ubeka is there is, firstly, we have to understand the others, because Ubeka is, according to the Chatuttajana, is the result of the Paramajana, Triyasana, and Triyasana of the Metta Karuna Ubeka, or Metta Karuna Mudita. So, in compassion, come to compassion of those who are suffering. Sometimes we have compassion to those who are suffering, but we cannot help them. We cannot save them to the to free place. So at the time, our emotion will be suffer, will dislike those who destroy of this person. So our mind is become the solo, become the negative. So, and mudita appreciate of joy. When we appreciate too much of ourselves, it will proud of ourselves, and at the time, the negative emotion will control our hearts also. If we like this, to balance these kinds of, not to too much applause, not to suffering, that those people who we cannot help to balance these kinds of emotion. So Upekha is in the middle. So I see like that. Thank you, Venerable Sir.
Yes.
I don't have question. I just would like to congratulate you for this paper. And I have one or two comments. The first comment is that, okay, in your title, you use the word equanimity. In your presentation, you use balance of mind. This is somewhat inconsistent in presentation. This is one point. Another thing is the connection between points. You mentioned three points in your definition. You didn't point out the relationship between those three. In the same way, how to cultivate Upekha, you mentioned a few, maybe 4 karma and 3 characteristics. But the link can be clearer. I listen to you and I think that's where you can improve. In a simple term, what you're saying is that Upekha is not the first reaction, it's the second reaction. Like a snake eating a frog, the first reaction should be compassion, karuna. The second reaction, when things are beyond your control, there comes Upekha. So Upekha, in a sense, is the second reaction, not the first. This is my comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your wonderful comment.
Yes, any question? Bandy here. Yeah. Yes.
You mentioned like and dislike based on the only put the about this person, the homeless person who got the permission to use the So we are ordinary people, normal people. So, but you price the best, the match the part of this upekas. This very big topics, very big topics. So please let me go. My question, can you practice the upekas in daily lives of the ordinary people for us?
This is to practice of the upekkha in ordinary life. So firstly, we have to classify of the upekkha in the regard as much as we can. So upekkha in the Sattva the seven factor of the enlightenment is to balance of the that. So upekkha can apply as an ordinary people or not. This is a question. Then we have to go back to a mother of a child. We often say that a mother of a child have the upekkha to their son and daughter, but they're also ordinary people. So the Bodhisattva also, before he did not opt
doing his MA program. Now, this is the time for presentation for Venerable Arya. Venerable Arya, now the floor is yours.
Okay. Respected the most venerable, all the senior monks and all the participants and lecturer and students. My name is Arya, a student of SSBU. This is my topic, the right speech, Samavaja in Buddhism, the path to harmony and spiritual growth. So before I start my presentation, I would like to ask all of the Sangha members or the participants, if someone hurts you physically and verbally, which one do you find it more terrible? Which one do you find it more hurt or painful? For me, I think verbal painful, or sorry, verbal speech is more painful rather than physical painful. So that's why right speech, Samaya Waja in Buddhism, even though it is included in the four, sorry, even though it is included in the Noble Eightfold Path, but it is underestimated. So that is why I think from now on, we should try to focus and utilize our speech, our words effectively and also beneficially. So that is why today I'm going to present about the right speech in Buddhism. So according to Buddhism, this is very clear, and I think it is very familiar to all of us. The first one is refraining from false speech, involves avoiding falsehoods and committing to truthfulness. So this principle, it's about the refraining from lying, no matter what it is, no matter what, for any benefit whatsoever. For personal benefit, for social benefit, for someone's benefit, our loved one benefit, we should not lie for any benefit whatsoever. And whenever any places in the King's Church, in our daily conversation, to our friends, to our loved one, to our relationships. When I use the word relationships, actually a lot of people get it wrong. Relationships is not just like it's not just a two people relationship, but it's including all our loved one, our parents' relationship, father, sister, father and mother, father as parents and children, teacher, disciples, stuff like that. So this is the first one, to refrain from lying. And the second is refraining from slanderous speech. Involve avoiding speech just causes division and enmity, focusing on friendship and harmony. So slanderous speech, this is what we, this is what create enemy problems in today's world. Especially now we live in a globalization, in a global arena. So I think we should better reflect these principles following the teaching of the Buddha, which is also a way to liberation. Avoiding speech that causes division, enemy. So this is also included to repeat the information from one group to the other. So basically in our daily relationships, so we tend to have this kind of assumption to repeat information to one group to the other group to satisfy ourselves. Sometimes if we hate this group, we say something bad about them. Or even our trust friends, our best friend, if they say anything to us, if they expose their confidentiality, their secret to us, and then we keep saying it, or maybe they open to us, maybe they open to their plus and minuses, their ups and downs, and you hurt them verbally, you tell your friend is secret, or maybe downs, or bad words or bad things to the other group. So this is like to create the division, enemy, segregation in our society. So this is from the teaching of the Buddha. For a harmonious society, this is very important and vital to observe and to maintain. And the third is refraining from harsh speech, involves avoiding languages that is intended to cause pain and discomfort to the listeners, using words that are friendly, agreeable, polite, and gentle. Actually, in today's world, problem that we face, especially in an institution, in any institution, colleges, university, nowadays, in this 21st century, every institution, they try to talk to their students very nicely, gently. Even though they have committed something wrong, they don't complain. They don't scold. They would use a very nice, gentle words to talk with their students. So in this case, harsh speech, nobody likes harsh speech. And that is why in our cultural norm, in Shan language, in Shan, we also have many saying, many slang regarding to this. We call Kwam Li Kau Hu Perm Za, Kwam Za Kau Hu Perm Li. So it means nobody likes harsh words. The listeners, I myself also don't like. Nobody likes harsh words. What we like is a sweet word, a gentle word, a polite words. So it is very important for us from now on to cultivate following the teaching of the Buddha. And this can be applied in any society. When I mean harmony, right here I mean harmony. I mean this harmony can apply. This principle can apply in any society, in any places, in all walks of life. And the fourth is refraining from idle chatter, avoiding politeness or trivial talk. Speech should be limited to matters of genuine importance. So there's a very famous saying, the more you speak, the less your words matter. So this is absolutely true. According to the teaching of the Buddha, we have to say, we have to speak when it is necessary, when it is needed, when it is beneficial. And we should focus more on the applying. Being as a teacher, being as a principal, working in the institution, living in the society, where a lot of people are interacting, communicating in daily basis, it is very important. So this is from the Dhammasāmi Sutta. And this is also another sutta the Buddha mentioned about the right speech. So this is to make sure that all the four refraining from lying, refraining from slander speech, refraining from harsh speech, and refraining from idle chatter. And these four have to be followed as a whole, as a full spectrum. So that is why in this sources, you can see refraining from using words that are untrue, unbeneficial, not entering, and disagreeable to other. Refraining from words that are true but unbeneficial, not entering, and disagreeable to other. So all these 6, we have to, if you read carefully, all the 4 refrainings of the from the Dhammasāmi Sutta, you have to refrain as a whole spectrum, as a whole. If you refrain from lying, but you do not refrain from slander speech, that is not good. So to get the fullest benefits, we have to refrain as a whole. So this is from the Abhaya Sutta. Okay, you can go and see the primary sources. And the intention of the speaker is also important. This is another discourse the Buddha clarify about the ways of speaking, or maybe the Samavaja. So speak at the right time. Speak only the truth. Speak affectionately, speak beneficially, speak with a good mind of goodwill. So from 1 to 4 is similar to the previous discourse. So this is like 2 ways of explanations giving the same purpose. So according to Dhammasāmi Sutta is to refrain from lying. So but from this Sutta is to speak the truth. Okay, so it's the same. But it's a different interpretation, but having the same context, giving the same context and benefits. So the number 5 is speak with a mind of goodwill. So the speakers himself have a very have to have a compassionate mind, loving kindness mind, kind-hearted mind to speak. And with our passion, loving kindness, our speech can go into everybody's hearts from all walks of life. I learned this the hard way. I learned this from my experiences. And I think you also have come across that kind of situation. So now, after we have finished learning or mentioning about the right speech from Buddhism, from Dhammasāmi Sutta, Abhaya Sutta, and also Vajja Sutta. Now, let's take a look at the impact of words and speeches. Speech has the power to either harm or heal, to create division or harmony. So this is the power of our speech. It can either harm or heal, create division or harmony. So it depends on the speaker. It depends on how you use it, how you utilize it, how you maximize it. If you are able to maximize our words, we can create a very beautiful, a very harmonious society, living with each other. And even the effect of speech may not be immediately visible as physical action. Its profound impact on individual and society cannot be underestimated. And I told you the very first of my start, our speech is being underestimated. So from now on, speech is not only the speech, but it's including its written form. What we write is also our speech. So that is why we cannot underestimate, because it's very powerful. And the Buddha said, present speech is as sweet as honey, and truthful speech is as beautiful like a flower, and false speech is unwholesome like filth. So this is how the Buddha clarified the importance of our words, of our speech. And on the other hand, hard words can wound more deeply than a weapon, whereas a gentle word can change the heart and mind of people, even the most hardened criminal. You can see many stories from Buddha's teaching, let's say Angulimala or the elephant Nalagiri. how the Buddha used very loving kindness words and kind-hearted words to talk, or maybe to try to teach these tools. Our words, if we are able to utilize it, even animals, let alone talking about human, even animal, we can benefit it, we can utilize it, we can use it very effectively. And Kuntim Pita, who is about to be the next PM in Thailand, he is very eloquent, he is very witty, he's very witty, very eloquent. He is very good at articulating. He is about to be a president of Thailand. And you can see Obama, he become a president, actually because of his eloquent speaker, because of his witty, because of his good for speaking in public, how he influenced people verbally, how he utilized his speech. And even as a Buddhist missionary like us, if we use our speech, if we can utilize our speech, we can do a lot of Buddhist missionary. We can propagate a lot of sasana using talking to our lay people nicely. And in this case, there are also differences, and also according to our natural, according to what we have been brought up, we have a very different habit. Sometimes they may speak the truth, but they use a very hard word, and it may be beneficial for someone, but maybe unbeneficial for other. Maybe painful for other. So that is why it's very vital to utilize our speech. Nowadays in Thailand, a very famous news. It's about a man coming to do this kind of activism, like he teach the Buddha's teaching, and also he teach Buddha's teaching against those who are superstitious in Thailand. So I really like that. And the way he used speech, of course, he speak the truth, following the teaching of the Buddha, but the way he speak is very rude. It's very ungentle. It's very, it's not heartwarming. It's not catchy. So he got complained a lot, even though he speak the truth, but he got complained a lot. Because as it may be beneficial for one group, a certain group, but maybe not good for the other. So that is why to follow the teaching of the Buddha on the Samavāca, I think we need to follow as a whole. And if we are aiming for harmony, peace, happiness in society, I think we have all of us, each and every one of us have to utilize and maximize our speech effectively to create mindful communication and also understanding and also peace in society. So thank you. That is all of my presentation. Okay, so if you have any question, very welcome.
Thank you so much, Venerable Arya. For your presentation, you really ponder on the academic discussion on the right speech, and you also have discussed a lot about the way to use right speech in our daily life, and also the impact of the right speech. And now this is the section for the question and answer, and I would like to invite all the questioner to ask the question to Venerable Arya. As I have mentioned previously, this is my humble request to go to the point question and answer. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Venerable, for your presentation. So, according to your presentation, I understand that when we are trying to speak, we have to speak gently and politely, something like that. So such kinds of talking, speaking is defined as samavaja. So sometimes it is very difficult to speak the right speech. So at that time, if we keep noble silence, should we define it as samavaja or not?
Okay, thank you so much for your questions. So as I also mentioned earlier, sometimes the Buddha also keep noble silent if he knows that his speech or his words will not be beneficial to the listeners, or even if the listener asks the wrong questions. So he would keep noble silent. So I think noble silent is also included in the right speech. Okay. Yeah, and sometimes it's difficult, of course, but if we want to get the benefit, I think we should we should utilize, we should maximize it, use our speech, yeah, as much as possible, yeah, as a benefit as possible, yeah, because it is very powerful. Yeah, but it needs practice. It needs practice, of course, and it also needs it's also yeah, mostly it needs practice and also our habits. Yeah, sometimes some people, they would have their habit, like they tend to say something harsh, even though they mean well, but they use very hard words. So for someone they are innocent, for someone they are sensitive or maybe vulnerable, so they cannot accept this kind of harsh speech. For me, I also learned this myself when I was in Thailand. When I learned it the hard way, but I really want to share. As a young age, because I didn't go fast, I didn't grow fast. I was like a short guy, and there is one day he come to my monastery because we have two. I have my friend and me. So my friend he gets tall very easily, but for me, I become short and I don't get tall easily. Every time he come to the monastery, he said that, oh, you're very short. You cannot grow. Why? And you something like that. And that's how it hurt me until nowadays. It hurt. It's become a trauma for me nowadays. So, especially for young children, for upcoming children, for kids, they are very sensitive. They are very vulnerable. They cannot accept this kind of harsh words. So I think as a speaker ourselves, we also need to practice, need to use, need to get used to using right speech. Yeah, even though it is difficult. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Venerable.
Thank you, Arya Bande. So, how do you think? Blame words are hard words or not?
What?
And blame what?
Blame
speech are hard words or not? That is one question.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Buddha also not all. Buddha also blame to Bandits. And then at the time, how do the Buddha spoke Samavacha all the time or not? Because you define Samavacha as the abstaining from blame what? So two questions. One question and two questions. Blame words are hard word or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Buddha sometimes blame to Bandits. So Buddha didn't spoke Samavacha all the time or not? How do you think?
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your valuable question. So the first one is blame word. Is this a hard word or not? So this is number 3. Actually, blame word or complain or scold or maybe insult speech or maybe abuses, toxic, all included in the harsh speech. Included in number 3. Included in number 3 because we use this kind of word from our anger, and to make the listener feel painful and feel discomfort. So that is why blame word is also a harsh speech. Okay. So the second questions, does the Buddha use samavada all the time? This is also very, very interesting question. For me, I read, when I was in Sariputra, I read maybe I read from a lot of Jataka, maybe from the 500 Life of the Buddha, right? Sometimes I also see the Buddha, but I think it's maybe because of a translator, or maybe does the Buddha really use harsh word? I also not clear about this, but I see from the translator that there's in the book they also mentioned that sometimes the Buddha the Buddha say someone who have committed wrong thing in quite a little bit painful, and also using a lot of hard words, So I am also not clear. I also want to ask you whether this because of a translator, or maybe the Buddha himself also really use harsh words from time to time to just to teach to those misbehaved monks straightforwardly. So yeah, if someone know, I would be very happy. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think Sayadaw Nyani is going to ask the question.
Yes, we would like to congratulate Venerable Arya for touching softly upon the right speech. And congratulations once again as a faculty member to the hard work of our students. To follow up with the comment by the Venerable, I understand that when the Buddha say harshly to the monks, I think it is out of good relation, and it is also in the sense of admonition, because it is the duty of the Buddha, duty of the teachers, and there is no wrong intention behind this when the Buddha used this. So I wonder when we say this kind of like can be addressed as harsh speech or not, and but maybe keep in a strict way. I think we would say that. That's my opinion. It's just to add up to the comment and question by the former questioner. Yeah. And I have one question as I'm thinking in the contemporary times where people are using a lot of really hard speech and slandering words. Like, do you have any idea like how to make a campaign against such kind of like hard speech and the slandering words, and specifically more on these two? Yes, I would like to have your opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the teaching of the Buddha, mostly he really focused on the mind. So I think it would be very great if the speaker cultivate the right speech, reflecting from all these posts, and also, yeah, speak beneficially, speak the right time, speak only the truth, speak affectionately, speak with a mind of goodwill. But anyway, someone they do not cultivate. So I think it is also their right. And it is also our right, whether we will take it to mind or not. So for the adults, maybe they are well-rounded and they are resilient enough not to take all those harsh words into mind. Yeah, but for the children, it is a little bit difficult. Speaking of the adult, so I think it is also our right whether we will put it into mind or not, because this is like also included in the or the 8 ups and downs of life, right? Praise and blame, happy and sad, and stuff like that, right? So I think we need to be resilient enough, especially living in this globalization world. Okay, you also mentioned about globalization in this modern world. So when a lot of people are using social media, so I think it is also our right, yeah, not to take it into mind. Yeah, and also just neglect and also just take it for granted. Yeah, but if we utilize it, if we have more activism, if we practice more on the right speech, it would be very good. Yeah.
So now we can have one more question according to time constraint. Yes, our Rector Sayadaw is going to ask a question, I think. Yeah.
I don't have a question. I just would like to make 1 or 2 observations. My observation, I think it's also applicable to the first speaker. When you present a paper, the first thing you have to do is to identify problem related to speech. In the earlier paper, problem related to ubeka. After you have diagnosed problems, and then you can define your scope, how much you're going to say, how much you're going to leave it out. Your paper on right speech, without defining the scope, without limiting your scope, you expose yourself to a lot of vulnerable questions. There's the art of presentation. If you say, okay, someone wants a right speech, covers a lot. It may cover the whole teaching of the Buddha in the Tripitaka from various aspects. But I'm going to say only this much because of the limit of time. If you do that, you protect yourself. This is what we have to do. Even when you write a PhD thesis, you have to say, this is my limit, this is my scope. So identifying problem and then limiting your scope. The last observation is that because you have chosen to speak rather than read, what happened is that you repeat yourself unnecessarily. You would like to make a point that right speech is underestimated. But at which point you're going to repeat that statement? You know, you are not clear. You just say it. And when you say it, you are not because you're not prepared. You just use the same word, the same expression. You can use right speech is underestimated. Right speech is undervalued. Right speech is less focused. Right speech is seen as insignificant. That sort of thing. That's the way we do presentation. We don't repeat the same word. And for example, you know, you are also English teacher. Your English is actually quite good, more than average. What happened is that, okay, you use the word important and vital together. You know, according to the usage, that's wrong because vital is stronger than important. Okay, these are my observations. I hope you can take that with growth mindset.
Oh, yeah. Okay, one more question.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for your presentation. And I would like to ask that sometimes we say line to be polite to keep. Sometimes we say line to be polite.
Just 1 second. The moderator.
Yes.
You have to ask people. Okay, first to identify themselves, meaning to mention their name, who they are, briefly. Otherwise, people who are sitting here, they don't know who they are.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. Could you briefly introduce yourself first?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. My name is Moise. Postgraduate diploma in Family and Buddhist Study, Shan Buddhist University. I would like to ask a question like whether does it I keep building my bad karma on you because sometimes we tell lie to keep good relationship and tell lie to be polite. Like for example, being the teacher of a young student, even though their work are not good, we have to say, oh, your improvement is good, you can do better, something like that. We always tell lie to our kids. And then tell lie to be polite, like are you hungry? Even we out, but we have to look at the situation. And we said, I'm okay, it's okay, thank you, something like that. We always like tell them to be polite, to keep our good relationship. In that case, how do you think? And I just wonder to do it like that. And I like building that come up again and again. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, thank you so much for your question. I think what you mean is like telling lie to keep relationship is like a white lie, we call, and it is similar to white lie. Sometimes we lie just to keep that kind of relationship going well and to keep that peace and not to hurt them, right? But I think that is not good, because let's say in a two people relationship, if you so let's say parent and children relationship. So if you keep telling lie to your children, even though they are not good, but you keep saying you're very good, and your children cannot go further. And your children will also really be confident in himself without improvement, without trying to improve. So I think it is great to be straightforward in that kind of situation, not to keep lying, but to keep honesty, integrity. Yeah, and also in two people relationship. So let's say if you don't have this kind of affection to the other, but you still keep lying that I still have this kind of feeling toward you or something, so that person, he cannot go further. It's kind of wasting someone else's time. So I think in any relationships, to be straightforward is great. Rather than saying lie just to, and because they will know eventually, there's no secret in this world, even though they will know the truth eventually. So that is why I don't think white lie is, I don't think lie is good. The Buddha also tell that someone who lie is never good. It's never, they would have something bad in mind if they lie. That is like the consumption of committing a bad karma. If someone lie, there is something going wrong in their mind already. Yeah, so that's why I don't think that is good. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, one more question, and after that we will have a break time. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm the second year MA student, SSBU. Thank you very much, Venerable Arya. You have a very good topic today. It's touched to more of us about the Samawachan, especially in the digital world. I mean, the pausing and pausing technology for the internet and everything. So, how can we apply this Samawachan when we are using some kind of social platform? Maybe our Rector already mentioned about that. But if you use Facebook, I think all of us, we all use Facebook. How can we apply Samawachan to avoid all the film and the guilty, like Buddha teaching already give you? Thank you very much.
Okay. Applying right speech in the social media, in the globalization, and I also mentioned earlier, we have to apply. Now the speech is not included, only verbal, only our mouth, only our verbal action, but also including its written form. We use Facebook to say something bad, or maybe we want to get attention, or maybe we hate this group, we hate another group, we love this group, and we write something. That is just to create division and segregation. So I think what we can do is to practice and not to use to refrain from this force, and also not to create division. Yeah, because now we have our digital devices, all of us. We use social media. I also use. So that is why, me personally, I don't really write anything to hurt people. And I think we need to cultivate that. We need to cultivate that. In English, I think this is called cyberbullying, right? Nowadays, people use very harsh words, abusive, toxic, manipulative speeches and words to write on social media against each other. So this kind of create our enemy. So that is why, in order not to do that, so we need to cultivate following the teaching of the Buddha. Yeah. I hope I answer your questions.
Yes, Pamukia.
I just would like to follow up with the question. Right now, when we look at a student's work, if it's not good, do we have to keep saying they are good? Well, I think here we have to analyze our mindset, whether we are single mindset or multifaceted. Multifaceted means we look at the child from different point of view. As you all know, as our students, here at our university, we use positive marking policy. Positive marking policy means when we give you our comments, we begin with something positive, maybe a line or two. At least sometime we appreciate your effort. We appreciate what you have read. We want you to read more. We are going to recommend you. But before we do that, we praise you what you have read. So at least you can appreciate the child for being there, for writing something, for turning up, all that sort of thing. You have to look at from all aspects. Then you will find something good. Then that wouldn't be classified as white lie. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying this.
Thank you so much, our Honorable Rector Sayadaw Dhammasāmi, for giving such a wonderful comment and feedback on our presentation. And now this is the time for refreshment. We will have 15 minutes for refreshment. After that, we still have one presentation for this morning's sections. Thank you so much for all of your participation. Yeah, the refreshment is just prepared in front of our Dhamma hall. Yeah, thank you so much again, Pierre.
Yeah. Số họ hả? Người xin mình muốn hỏi. Trái với biết không?
And after that, the Q&A sessions. The purpose of this essay is that nowadays there's many in the roles and the importance of jhanas and practice. And it's very rare, just some and a few suttas and information that some arahant attend the enlightenment without the base of jhana. So that's why I spent time on research to find the benefits of jhana and put into this research paper. First, we can see that the jhana is a meditative state of profound stillness and concentration in which the mind becomes fully immersed and absorbed in the chosen object of attention. So it is the cornerstone in the development of right concentration. So when we study the teaching of Buddha in the first sutta, Dhammacakkappavalla, Patana Sutta, we learn the eightfold, the Noble Eightfold part. And there are 3 trainings inside. The first is the training of Sila, the second is the training of samadhi, concentration, and the third one is the training of panya. And here, jhanas in the teaching of the Buddha is referred to the right concentration, samma samadhi. So now I'm going to share about how to prepare for the practice of jhana. There's one important point is that we need to find a proper teacher. We get the guidance from a proper teacher who has experience and the right experience. We can see that nowadays many meditation master, they claim that they are a hunt or they attend some very high spiritual attainment, but we should be careful about that. We should know how to find a proper teacher to get the guidance is very important. Then when we get the right guidance from the teacher, then we go further with the practice to establish the foundation of morality. And based on that, there's one factor that's also very important, that we have to practice at a suitable residence place. We can see that like nowadays many meditation courses are held or conducted in the city or in the communities where there's many disturbance. So those places are not suitable for the practice of jhana. And there's one point that like the practitioner or meditators have to put the right effort in his practice. And the preparation also need to have with the right view for all things about the teacher, about how to practice morality, how to live find a suitable place, and how to put effort. And one, we know that like to develop jhanas, one can choose among of the 40 meditation subjects for meditation. And it's very popular with the mindfulness of the breath. But also the meditators can choose some other subjects like, kasinas and some other subjects. And the first state for the practice that the meditator has to reach the state that he overcome the 5 hindrances. So here 5 hindrances are the sense of desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry and doubt. So this state is very important because it's the foundation and the how to say, the transition state to attain the first jhana, and after that other jhanas. So jhanas here, totally there are 8 jhanas. 4 of them are for material absorption, and the others are the 4 immaterial absorptions. So in Pali, there are rupa jhana and arupa jhanas. So next part, I'm going to share about the benefits of the attainment of the jhanas. The first one is the mental purification. Normally, an ordinary person, his mind is full of like defilements and is not concentrated. So the practice will help the mind be purified, and it's very important and give many benefits based on this attainment. So with the practice of jhana, one cultivates detachment from sense of pleasures and mental disturbances. These are, make our lives, cannot enjoy the happiness. So we have many problems because of the desire, the sense of desire.
and also the mental disturbances, and it's distracted. So one cannot focus on his job, his life, and especially nowadays, many crises, many problems with young people, with the people working who live in the cities, in some developed countries, even though they have a good life, good income, and they are, but they still have problems with their mind. So with this practice, bring the mental purification. And this is only the temporary, really, the mind is free from the 5 hindrances. And so the mind becomes pure, concentrated, and mindful easily. So with this base, with this temporary attainment, one can use and have a lot of things, positive things in life. So the next point that I like to focus on the present happiness. To practice jhana, we don't need to expect that we have like some very high spiritual attainment, or we have some psychic powers, especially many businessmen. Some of my friends, they want to have the psychic power to read the mind of his competitors to apply in his business. And also many people that are eager to for the psychic powers. But here we just simply to focus on that we practice jhana and we purify our mind and we have a present moment happiness. So for sure, like we can see that one cultivates detachments from sense of pleasure and mental disturbances, so he can enjoy the happiness in the moment, in whatever the difficulties in our modern society. But when the mind is still, the mind is focused and is mindful, for sure that person is happy. And when one practice against the attainment of jhana, one gets the inner peace, and the degree of tranquility increases respectively on the stages of the absorption. So here we can, the first jhana, the second, the third, and the fourth jhana of Rupa jhana, and similar to the 4 Arupa jhanas, gives the meditators different level of tranquility. So it's like a very, how to say, a very right kinds of happiness. It's true happiness. And the last one is like, come back to the controversial question that whether the jhana is necessary for the practice of insight meditation. So here we can see that the attainment on the base of jhanas can give the meditators very strong power to focus on the subjects for insight meditation. So we can see that even the Buddha, he always reminds people about the importance, the roles of the jhanas. He himself, in the the last night of his attainment, he used 4 types of material jhanas at the foundation for his enlightenment to gain the insight knowledge. So this we can see and learn from the Verancha Sutta, the discourse, Verancha discourse. And one point is that through the attainment of jhana, so the mind is temporarily free from sensual desires and mental disturbances. So the practitioners can focus on the subjects for the insight meditation. So one can observe the universal characteristics of all phenomena. There are three, the impermanent, the suffering, and non-self, or in Pali, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So again, like while debates exist on the necessary of jhanas, most people, most meditators, most meditation masters, agree that concentration is essential for the development of insight. And we ourselves, if we practice meditation, we find that when the mind is mindful, right, and concentrate, it is very easy for us to absorb in the practice. And especially in inside meditation, vipassana meditation, we want to practice for the four of establishment of the four the observations of the body, the sensation, the mind, and the content of the mind. So with the power of concentration, we can observe four of them easily, and we can maintain our observations for a long time. Without the concentration, we can observe the objects for a long time. And the last point I want to discuss, like in nowadays, the importance of the study of the ancient text, the Pali Canon, and to apply them in the practice. So I show there's two group. One is the scholars spend their time on the work of study Pali text. So there's two prominent monks in our contemporary society is Bhikkhu Bodhi and Bhikkhu Analayo. They spend a lot of time in the practice. I myself had met Analayo Bhikkhu in person, so I found that he's probably a scholar in the Buddhist studies, but he also a meditation teacher's master. So he spent a lot of time to study in Sri Lanka, and his sharing his works use mainly the materials, the references from the Tipitaka, even though he has some comparison to the Buddhist materials in China. And Bhikkhu Bodhi, for sure, you know that he's very famous for his translation. He's dedicated for his works in translation. And in the practice, we can find that there are some venerable meditation master, and there's a specialized in the chanas. So here there are two. In Myanmar, we have Prof. Sayadaw. Even now he's retired, but his contribution to the society, not only in Myanmar, but also to the world, we can see that many people, even there are professionals that spend time to study under the guidance of Prof. Sayadaw, and they gain also benefits. And another Venerable Hene Pola Guraratana, he's a Sri Lankan monk. He also spent time to study in the USA, and he has studied deeply in the chanas and also the teaching of the Buddha. And from this, I can find that like the right teacher is like they have a deep knowledge in the teaching of the Buddha, in the Tipitaka, but they also have the practical instructions to the people, not only for the traditional Buddhists, but also the people in other tradition background, like Christian, like Hindu, etc. So I going to conclusion that like those there are debates the necessary of chanas. Most people agree that the chanas are essential, and the preparation for chana practice, including finding proper teachers, suitable residents, and dedicated efforts in the practice are very important. So chanas bring about the purification of the mind, present moment happiness, and serve as the foundation for insight meditation. So proper study and practice of chanas bridge the ancient teachings with contemporary society. So thanks for your listening. That's my presentation.
Thank you so much, Venerable Ratanadipa, for giving such a comprehensive presentation on jhana, touching upon the achievement of deep happiness and present moment peace, integrating into purifying the mind and also the beneficial to practice vipassana. Now, this is the time for question and answer. May I invite all the Venerable participants to ask question. And for asking the question, this is my humble request to go short to the point. And also, please introduce yourself briefly. Yeah, thank you so much.
Good morning to all. My name is Bhikkhu Waranyana. I'm here representing two universities, Kabura Buddhist University and Mahawiyara Dhammavinya University. Actually, it's not a questions, but a comment. Before that, let me appreciate using some word. I highly appreciate for this event. The first students conference in honor of Venerable, the 60th birthday celebrations of Most Venerable Rector Sayadaw, the founder of the SSBU. When you say the first student conference, so for me, that is the first time ever in my life to see these students presenting their paper, this conference. So it was really fascinating me when I heard that yesterday announcement. And I highly appreciate for this SSBU community led by Venerable Rector Sayadaw, organize this, it makes this happen. So let me turn to my comment to your presentation. Can you, Venerable, go to your title, Mental Purification? Is that working? Sorry, I just want to point out a technical term that you use, and it's something which is important. So, is that? So, so sorry. Mental purification, sir. Yeah.
Sorry for inconvenience. We have some technological problem. Yeah.
Sorry for
yes, thank you.
problem.
Yeah. You see then the second part of your this slide. You use the second part. Contemporarily, the mind is free from the fine trances. It becomes pure, concentrated, and mental, mindful easily. I think there's a technical term for the jhana, periodically. When you say temporarily, it represents or it means the Danga Bahana. So here's not the Danga Bahana. Jhana is for Vikambana. So technical term for Vikambana, I think periodically. I don't know. If I misunderstand this, you can reply, but it's just comment. Thank you so much, Venerable.
Yeah. Here I mean that like before attainment of jhana. So even not have not attained jhana yet, but when reach the state of the purification of the five hindrances, overcome the five hindrances, so here temporarily the mind is pure like that. So this is the point. It's not yet attained the jhana. Right? So here, just overcome the state, overcome the five hindrances.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante.
Yes, we have two more questions according to time constraints.
Yeah, my name is Bamokha, Professor from Jaramya Nikaya Buddhist University. So I'd like to ask Two questions. For you present about the jhana. So we have to know, generally we have to know there are two types of jhana, samatha jhana and vipassana jhana. For samatha jhana, meditator have to focus on different object, kasina, breath, and impulsion, and so on. So we can say for the samatha meditator, there are different objects. So do they have vipassana meditator focus on different object or not? For the vipassana jhana, there is one question. If there is no different object for the vipassana jhana, so why?
Okay, thanks.
And then next question is, for vipassana jhana practitioner, if they practice vipassana, can they attain nimitta, like the samatha meditator?
You mean like vipassana jhana?
Yes, for the vipassana jhana, can they attain nimitta, like the samatha practitioner? These two questions. Okay.
Thank you. So thanks for your questions. You have two questions, right? The first one about the objects of samatha jhana and vipassana.
Different objects. There's different objects for vipassana jhana or not.
And your second question is that like there's a practice of vipassana bring to the nimitta experience, right? Okay, for the first question, as I know that like the objects of the samatha jhana is one. Yeah. When one practice samatha, there's only one. The mind is focused on one object. Right. And with the vipassana practice, the objects may change, not only one. The objects of vipassana as a nama rupa. So whatever belongs to nama rupa, so one can observe and can get the practice and attainment and the instruction by the Buddha. So again, like the objects of samatha, one. And the object for vipassana practice may be more. Here, what I know, like jhana is focused on the rupa jhana and arupa jhana. But for vipassana, we use the concentration, mainly developed from a contemporary momentary concentration and developed to the appana jhana, something like that. So we have different types of meditators who practice vipassana based on the attainment of jhana, or who practice without the base of attainment of jhana, or who attain the jhana after the attainment, like that, of the enlightenment. So that's what I know. For the second question about the practice of vipassana, as I know that the vipassana doesn't focus too much on the nimitta, even though some meditators, when he practices, he can experience the nimitta. But the nimitta is not necessary in the practice of vipassana, because the focus of the purpose of the vipassana is to observe the characteristics of the mind and the matter, nama rupa. There are three characteristics: anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So that's my answers for your two questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have one more question. Yeah, here. Yes, Pierre.
I'm faculty of SSBU and VNU. At this time, we are representing SSBU. Thank you very much, Venerable, for touching upon this subject. According to the question of I understand that he asks the object of the jhana and vipassana, if I understand correctly. But I think that what you have said is the vipassana meditation, the object is the various kinds of object that is prominent object of the ultimate realities. Is it? Is that true?
What I understand that he want to ask is
Then let me continue first and you two please clarify. In my understanding, when we say vipassana jhana, the noble persons or riyas have already gained noble fruit. That's why we call it local jhana, right? So that is the vipassana or vipassana. In that, whenever we say that is the object of samatha, in my understanding, it should be one of the 40 meditation objects, because this is the jhana, right?
Yes.
So I'm not sure, then please clarify the Venerable who raised the question and the academics. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think the answer, as you understanding it, like from the Abhidhamma perspective, right? Okay, so thank you. To me, like as I presented, the subject for the practice attainment of jhana, there are 40 subjects, and the subject for vipassana is like in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, we have like for practices on the body, on the sensation, and on the mind, and the content of mind. Those are the subject for the vipassana practice. So as I understand it. Thank you.
What is your response? What is the object of vipassana jhana?
For object of vipassana, so again, like we have four rupa jhanas and four arupa jhanas. So the objects for a of them for the object for rupa jhanas are different to the objects of the four arupa jhanas. Yeah. In detail, I give in my paper. Yeah, thank you.
There is the difference between Abhidhamma approach and vipassana approach, which should be
Yeah, thank you. I hope that I can get your comment after this presentation. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, all the Venerable participants here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very happy to get feedback from your comment, your master.
Hello. Can I ask a question, please?
And I would like, I get a chance to listen to your presentation just shortly. So I don't get a chance, I didn't get a chance to listen from the beginning to the end. But yeah, what I would like to suggest meditation is that object. But I would like to say subject, not object. Meditation subject and meditation object is different.
Yeah.
40 meditation subject, not 40 meditation object. If we can choose, from the, we can choose one of the meditation subject, and when we practice, when we really go into practice, then we concentrate on this object for samatha meditation. So that is meditation object and meditation subject. So what I would like to here point out is meditation subject and meditation object. And these are two different technical terms. That is just I would like to say.
Yeah, thanks for your comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sayadaw Donnie, for your precious comments. We are grateful for your participation in this our paper presentation. I understand that you may have more questions for our presentation. Sadly, we have to end our morning sections here as we are running under the time constraints. So now let me confer our for the next session to our Venerable Vilander to proceed our to end up our presentation section. Yeah. Now the floor is your Venerable Vilander.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sayali, for leading and moderating this morning session 1. And additionally, we would like to thank to our speaker for their insightful presentations. Your contributions have significantly enhanced our understanding of the topic discussed today. Now, we will proceed with the agenda for presenting the certificate of appreciation to our speakers, moderators, and MCs. Therefore, I would like to invite the most venerable Oxford Sayadaw Professor Dr. Kamai Dhammasāmi to come and present certificate to 3 of our speakers. First, I would like to invite our speaker, the first speaker, Venerable Muni Jara, to come and receive certificate from our Sayadaw. Next, I would like to invite our second speaker, Venerable Arya, to come and receive certificate from our Sayadaw. Lastly, I am pleased to invite the third speaker, Venerable Ratanadipa, to come and receive certificate from our Sayadaw. At this time, I would like to extend an invitation to our Sayadaw again to present certificate to our moderator. I would like to invite our moderator, Sayalema Deja, to come and receive certificate from our Sayadaw. Next, I would like to invite our MC, Venerable Sumana, to come and receive certificate from our Sayadaw. Next, I would like to invite Venerable Jodika to come and receive certificate from our Rector Sayadaw.
And I would like to invite Venerable Vilander to receive the certificate as well. Thank you very much, our Rector Sayadaw, for coming to give certificate.
Now we have reached the end of our morning session 1 of the first Shan State Buddhist University Student Conference program. Today we gather not only here to celebrate the legacy of the most venerable Oxford Sayadaw, but also to exchange insight, foster learning, and deepen our understanding in variant fields of Buddhist study. This first conference marked a significant step in empowering student voices and strengthening the bonds within our academic community at Shan State Buddhist University. Please also be informed that our section 2 and 3 in the afternoon will commence promptly at 1 p.m. local time this afternoon. Please be ready to join us prior to the start time. We look forward to your participation in the upcoming session. Thank you very much.
For our lunch time, it's going